Hi, you're on with Mike and Spike this morning?
Hey, it's Tommy Habeeb.
Hey, Tommy, how are you?
Hey, how are you doing?
We're doing really good, man. How's the show going? Oh, you got several shows going right now, don't you?
I do. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late on the call-in.
That's all right, buddy. That's okay. Now, we love the Cheater series. We watch that on a regular basis. We sit down and watch that. Did you ever imagine when you came up with that would be as successful as it's been?
I tell you, it's going in our 10th season, and it's just, sorry guys.
That's all right. I hear the kids in the background. That's okay.
Yes. So I'm being dad this morning, but no, after 10 years, still on the air, wouldn't have imagined that. When we first started out on this thing, we weren't quite sure. I knew I was going to be able to get it on the air, but I didn't know how well it was going to be accepted. But here you go, 10 years later, and it's become somewhat of a cult following, with this show, and very exciting stuff.
We love it. We love it. I mean, we look forward to it every time we can find it on TV, man. Whatever we were watching, when we know Cheaters is on, we come back to it. Because, besides the fact, I mean, it's very entertaining, you really are providing a service to people. We were talking about that in the studio yesterday. You got some people who wonder if that special person is actually, they have the signs and stuff, but they're just not sure, and they don't know where to go.
For those of us,
for those of us who haven't, right? They don't know where to go. Typically, most of these people, by the time they get to us, they know they just don't want to accept it.
Yeah.
But everybody, leaves that glimmer of hope that their loved one isn't cheating on them.
Well, now you weren't you the original host of the show?
Oh yeah. No, I hosted the first probably 150 episodes, somewhere in there.
That many, huh?
Yeah.
And you produced it too, didn't you? You're the producer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I built all the, when the show came together, there was an attorney, had an idea, and he said, "What do you think?" I said, "Well, give me 2 years and I'll have this on the air." And within 2 years, we were on the air, and things are going crazy. But I built every frame of that show.
Now, who is the current host?
Joey Greco.
Oh, he's still the same guy, huh? I remember, didn't you have a show where they were confronting somebody on a boat and the guy stabbed Joey or something?
Yes. That actually was one of the episodes. Yeah.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, I remember Joey's face.
It's gone through a whole gamut of different things. Cheaters has been an amazing run, and have being there and developing the first show and giving birth to something like that is a great feeling.
Now you've got a couple of other things going on, because I was talking in the studio yesterday to people, and I said, Tommy just not Cheaters. Tommy's got a lot of stuff going on. Aren't you doing a couple of new things? I think something I saw, Stag, and then Eye for an Eye.
Yeah, well, knock on wood. I've been having some really great success, and I've done probably 20 or 30 specials of all kinds, a lot of different sports specials to just all kinds of different specials and mixed martial arts specials. Hold on one. I'm sorry, guys.
No, that's okay. Be daddy first. We're all right with that.
So now, Mike.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
One of the things that Tommy does as well, he's raising a family, 3 boys, and having a great time at it. So the interesting thing is mixing, and I'll get to some funny things with you in just a minute, but mixing the life of, developing television shows and hosting shows all over the world to the fact that, I changed a lot of diapers.
Yeah, yeah.
And people get a kick out of that. In fact, one of the I invented this product. It's called a baby bottle water bottle adapter, and the New York Times wrote a full page article and got quite a kick out of the fact that here's a guy that's got 3 TV shows on after midnight, but he developed a product for kids.
Yeah.
And what it does is it screws on a water bottle and turns it into a baby bottle.
Wow.
So no matter where you're at, you can turn your water bottle into a baby bottle to hydrate, or you can pour your formula into this water bottle, shake it up, and you can now feed your kid. So
Very cool.
But it's very cool, and we're now sold in about 10 countries around the world, and we're in Targets and Safeways and Kroger's and thousands of stores across the country with the product.
So you're kind of just. Would it be safe to say, Tommy, that you're an idea guy? Is that what you are?
I think that's a big part of it. Yes,
Yeah.
and I've been able to kind of flesh these things out and make them work. I'm an actor by trade,
Right.
but years ago, I worked with Dick Clark, and he taught me, and he said, Tommy, how do you think I've survived in this business? I own my own product. I write, develop, and distribute. So that's what I learned to do, and it's given me longevity. And we were talking a little bit about my other shows, and I've done a bunch of specials, and yes, I built a show called Stag, a Test of Love, and we're on in 163 or 4 markets across the U.S. now, and probably 15 or 20 foreign countries. It's gaining a lot of ground. I think it'll be, as big as Cheaters syndication-wise.
Wow.
Here over the next probably 12 months. We're pretty close. I think we'll be in probably about 90% of the country by the end of this year, which we're excited about.
Right, congratulations.
Thank you. It's terrific. And what we do, it's kind of Cheaters-esque, actually. We film a guy on his bachelor party, and then we show the video to his future wife the next day, and they test their relationship.
I would guess so.
I've got to tell you, it's the wildest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys sitting there saying right now, wiping their brow, thank goodness they didn't film my bachelor party.
I'm wondering, how do you get anybody to agree to let you film their bachelor party?
Well, that's a very good question that they let us do that. I mean, it kind of surprises me to some parts, but the fact is we throw them one heck of a bachelor party. And
I bet you do. There you go.
Yeah, they have a lot of fun. We have from Playboy Playmates to Penthouse Pets as part of the allure. And we're just putting together a deal now where we're going to shoot, I think, all next season in Las Vegas. And so there's going to be a whole stag experience happening in Las Vegas, where we're going to bring bachelor parties and bachelorette parties out there and give them a phenomenal Las Vegas stag experience.
I'm betting that bachelor party's a lot better than their second one.
Do what now?
I said I'm betting that bachelor party's a lot better than their second one. I wonder how many of them the girls walk away from them.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, but really, there's probably about 10% of them don't get married.
Really?
Wow.
The other part realize that hey, listen, it's we love each other. It was one night, and really these guys, there's different thresholds of danger that they can get into, and so it's whatever the interpretation is of that girl or the guy when he watches the footage, but they're just not used to seeing, if there's dancers around and somebody pawing or kissing on your fiance. It's a pretty tough sight to see.
Right.
I'm anxious to see that.
Yeah, once all the heat settles down a little bit, they realize, it's just good fun, maybe, I guess.
What about you got something else? Eye for an Eye. What about that?
Yeah, well, now that's a show I don't do anymore, and I just hosted it. I helped them early on with doing some producing. I produced the first couple episodes for them. They asked me to help them out, host their show. It's become a frustrating experience, but I hosted 50 episodes for them, and the frustrating thing is I can't talk a lot about it, but I'm having to go to court to try to get we're having a dispute and getting paid. So
I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
But we did 50 episodes of that show, and which was a lot of fun. I built a show called Billionaires Car Club, and I have Andrew Firestone host that show, and we feature these guys and these multi-million-dollar car collections in their homes all over the world. There's some phenomenal footage there of some of the most exotic cars in the world. And we feature a guy named Bob Smith. He's one of the top restoration guys in the world, and he rebuilds these Ferraris and Bugattis. And, we have a couple cars on there. These Ferraris, this one P3 and P4, they're worth over $20 million a piece.
Oh, holy cow.
Gee.
They're one of a kind, and just phenomenal cars. And so that show's seeing great success around the world as well. And then I built a part of an association called the Art of War. It's a mixed martial arts deal, and I host their shows along with it's all these top MMA fighters in the world, and they they go to war in a cage.
Yeah.
So that's one of our other shows, and then got a bunch more in development.
We had a guy on the other day who spent good half hour with us who would probably be interested in one of your other projects out on bail. We had Dog the Bounty Hunter on with us about a half an hour. What a great guy he is.
Yes, I've heard a lot of good things about him.
Yeah, he's a great
enjoyed
guy.
him a lot. Hey, now Tommy, it sounds like to me just from listening to what you're saying here that you do a lot of TV. Have you done any motion pictures? Are you even headed that way? Are you doing anything with the internet? Are you expanding that direction? Because you're a forward-looking guy and a thinker. I'm thinking you probably see markets on the internet that no one else has imagined. I'm just guessing from this, 8 minutes I've talked to you.
The internet, and we deal a lot with advertisers and advertising agencies and media agencies, and helping them because they buy our commercial time, and so we help them develop content for some of these things, and everything is gearing towards the internet and mobile, and we're really forging forward in that internet and mobile technology world. And right now we've kind of joined forces with a big company that is doing some amazing things and some new developments on the internet, and we're helping develop content for those particular applications that will involve big retail, big box stores, and basically things are going in the direction where everybody's going to have their own channel basically, and have that opportunity. Now there'll be a lot of weeding out, and who knows what's really going to happen in the future, but because technology is moving so quickly. But it only makes sense that the Internet's going to be very, very involved, and you'll find that televisions of the future will all be equipped with their own Internet computer. So you'll be able to be watching TV and pause things and buy things and manipulate the television all over the place. Most of the college kids today watch TV on their computers. They don't have televisions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of time before everyone, that's your communication device.
Sure.
Is your television or your computer. It'll all be the same. And it's very exciting. And we're doing things like on our shows where, you're watching the show and it's asking you questions and talking to you and saying, hey, go online and vote or do, win trips here or there. And
so it's interactive.
It's all
That's
very
great.
interactive,
Yeah.
and so it's just going to get more and more in that direction.
Tell me about button-down ties.
Well, see, there you go again. I, as an actor, I did a lot of red carpet events, and my time in Los Angeles, I was there for many, many years. I'm in Dallas, Texas now, but most of my business is in California. But I got tired of wearing bow ties, so I developed this product, and my family's been in the jewelry business for 50 years, and so I had made up these little medallions that would go on just a black satin strap. And a lot of friends of mine said, "Hey, that's very cool. Make them, get me one." And a lot of them are pretty big celebrities. And so I made 4 or 5 for them. And then I was kind of not working one day, and I said, I should see if anybody really wants to buy these things. And so I made up 5 samples and took a picture of it and put it on a sheet, one sheet, and sent it out to formal wear stores across the country. And within 2 weeks, I had thousands of orders coming in for these crazy things, and I had to figure out how to manufacture them.
Yeah, careful what you wish for. Well, you had one big fan of that, the way I understand the research I did. Michael Jordan was a real fan of them.
Yep, Michael wore them, Michael Jackson. All of a sudden, I got all these Michael Bolton.
Wow.
But we had everybody. There was a ton of celebrities that wore them, and now you go in any formal wear store, and it's a staple. You'll see them in all formal wear stores across the country.
Fabulous.
What happens is, in a product like that, it really wasn't patentable, except with a design patent. So you just had to change the design a little bit, and now there are 5 different manufacturers making my products. But it was fun to give birth to something and watch it grow. So that was really neat and fun to do. One of the things I'm very, very excited about, and I can't talk too much about it because we are on the cusp of doing a big press release and a press conference, but I'll have a new network show coming out. We'll start filming in September, and it's going to involve schools and music. And it's going to be very, very exciting.
Well, there you go.
Maybe in the next 3 or 4 weeks, we can talk to you guys again and kind of tell you about it. But it's going to be a big, big primetime network show, and one I think that we're going to be very proud of because it's featuring high school kids.
You know what? We would love for you.
We would love to do. Both of us are musicians, and we just, and we've seen how music changes the lives of kids, and I'm just so gratified to see that, the whole High School Musical thing again coming around, and kids really getting to. I went to a production of Bye Bye Birdie in Shreveport, Louisiana, a week or so ago, and the place was packed with teenagers, and I was thrilled to see that.
Oh yeah, it's pretty terrific, and I was my 16. I have a 16-year-old son in Wichita, Kansas, and so I just went up there this past weekend because he was in the musical Guys and Dolls.
Oh, and great! So, hey, sit down, you're rocking the boat.
Okay. It was so much fun to watch him out there dancing and singing, and it was a treat.
Well, you just hit on Spike's passion. He and his wife both are.
Filmmakers.
They do a lot of acting and stuff like that. So.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I just did a movie with I just did a movie with Michael Douglas. I had one line with him, So, oh well. But it was a high point of my career so far. It was a lot of fun. You bet. A lot of stuff is happening out here in Shreveport. I'm sure you're aware of that.
I am, and in fact, we're working on a new television product, and we're talking about actually shooting the pilot for it in Shreveport because of the opportunities that Louisiana is offering.
Yep.
And they have a huge sound stage there.
Yep. Things are good here, man.
Anything we can do to help you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything we can do. I don't know what that would be, but we love your entrepreneur spirit. I love that. That's what made America great, and I love that. When we first met, 2 years ago, I think it was. We met and talked for a few minutes. You may not even remember me, but
no, I do absolutely. You were with your wife.
Yes. I told my wife as soon as we were done talking, I said, yeah, I like that guy. I like that entrepreneur spirit. I love people, and that's what I've tried to do is surround myself with people who don't take no for an answer. You know, there's so many people who think that, oh, you can't do things in life because every time you turn around, there's an obstacle. Well, welcome to life. Life is full of obstacles. Well, I always tell these kids, I do a lot of public speaking, and I tell these kids, you know, if you've been through the mall and you've seen that little toy that is walking, the little battery-powered toy, and it runs into the wall, it backs up and goes another direction, sooner or later it's going to find a way around that wall, and that's what you have to be. And that's how I see you, Tommy. I love that about you, buddy.
Well, thank you very much. And, you know, it's fun, and, I don't know where we get drive, some, people that just, that's the thing, you just can't say no. Right. And you just got to keep kicking doors open. And, as a young actor, and believe me, you're talking about having one line in a movie. Well, I did a half a dozen movies that I had one line in. So, it's just before I got my first. Actually, I got a lead before. Once I did the first movie, and it was a big part. And then after that, I couldn't get arrested except for 1 and 2 lines in films. And it was crazy. But I'm hoping to get back in that world. But as a young actor doing 10 auditions a week, and people, saying no.
Right.
It just hardens you to no. So you just go, well, yes, I'm going to fight harder, but I want to get back into making films and writing, and that's a passion of mine, and so hopefully, that's going to come back around, and I've had people, offer me some really nice opportunities. It gets tough when you're doing episodic television because you only have small windows.
Right.
I'll have 4 weeks here, or, sometimes squeeze in 6, but
you said
it's all about timing.
You said you're in Dallas, right?
I am.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm trying to put together 5 horror films, and and maybe I'll have you come out and do one line in the movie for me sometime soon. How's that?
See, he wants to tell me one line. Now you got to give me a little more meat than one line.
Okay. Hey, well,
anyway, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
anything you guys want, just feel free, and I would love to be a part of something.
We'll try to be in contact. You're our new best friend, as they say in the business. Let's see, Tom, you know what? Being an old disc jockey, I can't break this habit. Every time I get somebody on the radio that I like, I put them on the spot and say, hey, can you say I'm Tommy Habeeb and I like Mike and Spike?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. Hi, this is Tommy Habeeb, and I got to tell you, my new best friends are Mike and Spike.
Thanks, Tom. Hey,
fabulous.
If
Thank
you need us for anything, give us a call, buddy. If you're in the area, give us a call. We'll go out to lunch. I'd love to meet your wife and kids.
Yeah, and call us back again, and we'll promo that new project you've got going on. Just put us in your speed dialer.
Where are you guys based out of?
Shreveport.
Oh, you're based out of Shreveport.
Yeah, we're out of the Shreveport area.
I got you. Okay, man. I sure appreciate it, and y'all take care.
Thanks, Tommy. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
What a great guy.
Hey, I enjoy